Well, welcome to another edition of the Digicel Sports Show right here on Islandstats.com. I'm your host, Earl Basin, and joining me yet again on this lovely day is Jason Juggling J. Ford. So much to talk about. Still, a day later, still bubbling.
Yes.
Knocky Rouse.
I've got my Bermuda flag on underneath somewhere. My pants somewhere, my shoes, socks.
Yeah. He had mine.
That's what
Well, what can we say?
You saw history.
Yeah. Third time lucky.
And I told everybody May 27th, and I warned everybody. May 27th, something special is going to happen.
Yeah.
But Earl, let's get to that story and many more.
Well, hey, well, first, let's get a message from our sponsor because we've got a lot to talk about right down to that final on Sunday.
There you go.
Yes. So, a message from our sponsor.
Bermuda, listen up. D-Music is here exclusively for Digicel customers. Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free. With D-Music, you can easily search for your favorite artists and create playlists to fit your lifestyle. Plus, you have the option to download music to your device so you can find a song for any moment, even when offline. D-Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D-Music today.
Well, Jay, you got a chance to see Huddersfield and Reading on Monday, yesterday.
The game was boring. Oh, man, that was like watching paint dry.
Well, did you see the 10th minute miss?
Yes.
He had to be a yard out, if that.
Wow.
How did he miss that big target and find that spectator sitting on just from the other side of the game?
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, the game started out two good chances
Right.
That should have been taken by Huddersfield.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, for the next 118 minutes,
Sure.
I could have found something else to do with my time. But
it's one of those football things.
yeah, and what you got is basically two teams that basically are the exact same.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Two teams that were set up not to make a mistake
Mm-hmm.
and only work on a counterattack.
Yes.
And both teams were set up that way.
Mm-hmm.
So the ball went from side to side a lot more than it went from north to south.
Right.
Naki done a lot of running.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of running. And I was only hoping that coach was going to keep him on because at one point in time, he looked like he was struggling, like in the 75th, 78th minute,
Yeah.
looked like he was struggling.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, look, this might be going to extra time. Does they bring him off? Or do they want to hold him on?
You need penalty takers, mate.
You need penalty takers.
You need sure goal scorers, right down to the last minute. He had the last shot of extra time.
Yeah, and was what I don't know if it was nerve because we saw a lot of. I think it was only 3 shots on goal for the whole match.
Right.
But you had guys in great positions in front of the goal, not even hitting the target.
Yeah.
And even he would say, "Man, I wish I could have had that one."
Right. Well, it's a bit of anxiety as well, because you want to score. You know you're not going to get this opportunity on a regular basis in this particular game because both teams, like you say, are set up to make sure that the mistakes are limited. And 120 minutes plus, because there was 7 minutes of injury time after the 90. Then there was a cramp, and so we played about 10 minutes of injury time. So we played 130 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it was the PKs.
All right, so then it's the PKs. So, folks, everybody knows when we talk about PKs, it's money. We talked about this the last round they hit. Is that some goalkeepers feel that they are invincible, and then some penalty takers think they're invincible. And you will see that in even their style of taking penalties, because some guys would go up and rocket the ball in the net, and some guy would just see if I could just
Finesse. Yeah.
Well, so let's start it off. Round 1. Good penalties.
Yeah.
Good penalties.
Reading went first, scored. Huddersfield scored. Round 2, Reading scored. Huddersfield, clank.
Yeah, that hurt.
Reading would score again, making it 3-1, and then it was Naki's turn. And of course, he had to score to keep Reading in the game.
Yeah, well, keep Huddersfield in the game.
I'm sorry, keep Huddersfield in the game.
Yeah.
And he blasted his shot. I mean, the goalkeeper turned around as the ball was coming back across him.
Yeah.
Back out of the net.
It was interesting enough because if you watch, and you talked about it in our last show, interesting enough, it's a long walk.
Oh yeah, that halfway line.
Because it's the halfway line going to the penalty.
Yep.
And now, once again, you're at Wembley.
70,000 inside.
70,000 inside. And you're at the Huddersfield end
Yep.
of the field. So, when he done, he ran.
Yeah. Shorten that time, shorten that extra thing.
He ran.
Yeah.
Every bloody whistle, I'm good, bang.
Yeah. Yeah. You shorten everything that could possibly go through your mind. Because
Wow.
remember, I'm pretty sure. Now, you've been even at the youth level or at the senior level, you've gone through a penalty shootout. Mate, that walk, you hear every single person.
Yes.
And from every direction, you hear them all.
Yes.
And it's something that you have to try and overcome, stay within yourself, and 9 times out of 10, the guys that miss say, I can't miss, I can't miss, I can't miss, I can't miss. And they're so concentrated on not missing that they don't look at the ball. They end up with their body in the wrong position.
Yeah.
You look at the fourth penalty from Reading when the guy blasted the ball over the top.
Oh, did he?
His foot, the planting foot, was so far behind the ball and away from it that he could only lean back to try and get his power.
Yeah.
Because that's what he was resorted to afterwards. Automatically lifting the ball. Automatically lifting the ball. So there you had it. Huddersfield came down, made it 4-4. It was 1 penalty each to go. Reading player came in, goalkeeper guessed right.
Yeah.
Big save.
And we talked about how important Huddersfield's goalkeeper has been. Ward, who's on loan from Liverpool. We talked what a difference he has made once he got into the score. And it kept basically, if it wasn't for him, they probably wouldn't be in the position that they was in.
Well, he got him to the final.
So he got him to the final. Obviously, with the last in the semifinals, he got him past Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
So, and then you could see the jubilation. You could see the what it meant to the players, but you could see what it meant. 45 years of waiting.
Yeah, 45 years. Tears were shed by Huddersfield fans because for some, it's been a lifetime.
Now, I'll tell you, I mean, I was choking. I wouldn't shed a tear, but I was choking. But it's one of those moments that I was proud to be Bermudian. Because when we followed Naki from day one, and to see him drape himself in the flag for the world to know, the world to be seen. Some other people had other, but he made sure when he lifted the cup, he still had his flag. And a proud moment to even pay honor and respect to one of his fallen friends, Tommy Steed. And it made you say, you know what? He's gotten to a certain place, but he hasn't forgotten. This small place.
Thank you very kindly. Yeah. Actually, you know what, Jay? Let's give these people a treat. Let's see the penalty shootout from beginning to end. Naki Wells converted Huddersfield's third kick from the penalty mark as a 45-year wait is now over as they clinched a English Premier League football spot for next season after defeating Reading on penalty kicks in the Championship playoff final. Few would have backed these sides to be challenging for promotion at the start of the campaign, with Wells and his teammates considered to be in for a relegation fight while Reading started under a new coach, Jaap Stan. Both teams have had memorable campaigns, but Reading's has ended in heartache, whereas Huddersfield can now look forward to life in the Premier League after securing a 4-3 penalty shootout triumph after 120 minutes of goalless football at Wembley. This is how the penalty shootout unfolded.
And Fordham left again in the final. Very, very cool indeed. With the save. Oh, battered into the net. But Wells has done it. Oh, skies it. it in. Oh, and Ward produces the save for Schindler. Has a chance to write his name in Huddersfield Town legend. And he takes that chance! The fairy tale season has the happiest ending.
During the celebrations, Wells was seen paying respect to his good friend, Tumaini Steed.
Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free with D-Music, exclusively from Digicel. With D-Music, you can stream and download songs and create playlists of your favorite artists to fit your lifestyle. Whether you're working out at the gym, getting ready for a Friday night, or just chilling at home, D-Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D-Music today.
Well, there you have it, Earl. So, what's next? Because it's not going to be no off season.
Money, money, money.
Money.
Well, instantly they've been injected with cash flow due to the TV rights in the Premier Division. So 170 to 200 million pounds is right on the table for them. Obviously, the coach has ideas of what he's going to need. And being that he's good friends with the Liverpool coach, he would have been giving him advice on, hey, to stay in this league, you're going to need A, B, and C. You have players who are hungry, who are going to enjoy the life of the summer life, but when it comes down to those matches in the Premier, it's a different kettle of fish. So instantly in that woodroom, probably not tomorrow, but the next day, mapping out what the plan is come the start of this 17-18 season. Now, we all know in about 3 weeks, the schedule comes out.
Yes.
So it'll be a lot of people penning when they go on their trips from Bermuda, and when Huddersfield are meeting
their
whatever
favorite
teams,
whenever
they can get tickets. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of stuff. BA, get that glitch right.
Yes,
because there's going to be an influx of Bermudians heading over for quite a few games in the 2017-18 season. Jay, I'm going to try and see if we can get in touch with Naki and see if we can come over and do a little piece with him before a game and after a game, just to give people a treat on what it's like, the life of a Premier Division player. I know this has probably already been done with the likes of Sean and Kyle. But Naki being our most recent...
Let me stop you. You said you or we?
I said we.
Oh, okay. I like that player. Continue now.
But it's an opportunity for people to see what the real life of a person that goes through a daily schedule of being a Premier Division player, because it's a business, it's a job.
And that's the, having been around Kyle, very close friend of mine, and I had the chance to go to England and stay with him, actually. You got to see that other side. You said the business side of it. We'll see the 90 minutes on the field, but it's so much that leads up to that 90 minutes, and then the sacrifice. I knew, particularly at the time, and at that time he had just changed the team, so he had his family out. Kyle had his family there, so you don't want to keep moving your family around England while you're playing for a team. So he might only be able to travel back across England for maybe a day or two to go turn right back around and go back for training and all these other commitments that you have, because now it's not just training and playing, you also got public appearances that you have to make. And same likes with Goda and many more. That's the life of a professional. But to see him move to this next, from Clyde, from Sean to Kyle, even if when you look back at Meshach and Antoine, even though they didn't get to the Premiership,
they had a stint there.
But to see now that on Saturday or especially Sunday, I think I mean, if Huddersfield really wants a good, they want some good influx of some money, Bermudian money, send some jerseys down there ASAP, because I think you got a bunch of new fans.
Yes, indeed.
Starting from Monday.
Yes, indeed. Well, Jay, on Sunday,
Wow, that was
it can only be described as nail-biting.
a thriller. It was thrilling.
Are you found another word?
I had thrilling.
A thrilling 211 run 2020 final.
Yes.
Thrilling.
Well,
There are many other words.
That's what they call it.
Yeah, many other words, but thrilling could be one of the least words, we'll say. The ending was fun.
Well, I like to say that because hold on, we have an opinion. Okay.
Yes.
The match. First of all, let's head up the match. It was the 2020 final featuring Bailey's Bay, which was the champions,
Right.
2-year champion,
Right.
versus the league champions, St. David's. Now with St. David's, they was missing
Justin Pitcher
Justin Pitcher, who actually played quite well
in the semifinals.
In the semis.
Yeah.
But Bailey's Bay was missing Malachi Jones, who actually played quite well
Yes.
in the semifinals.
Yeah.
And so it set, the game was set up nice. Earl, you was down there because you actually saw the first game of the Tough Dogs played final, defeating Devonshire Rack. But when I arrived into Doc's Puddle, I did not think cars would be parked out the front because the game started at 3:30. I got there about 10 after, no, about 15 after, and it was like mini county out there.
Yeah.
So when I say thrilling for a game so early in the season, well attended,
Yes.
entertainment value. Now,
Top dollar.
how the game was played, we can find a lot more words
Then thrilling.
than thrilling. But the spectacle of the day,
Yes.
I think, and the result and how the result played out.
Yes. Yes. St. David's won their toss, went to bat, got bowled out for 106, but then mathematically they worked out what they needed to do. Bailey's Bay could not maintain what was needed to get them across the line. I think, in hindsight, looking at it from the side, now I could be totally wrong, but it was almost like when they walked off the field, it was like, okay, this one's in the bag, but you forgot one thing: you got to get the runs that they got.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was so funny because we was talking on the sign. I mean, a couple of years ago in Belco Cup, remember, they knocked down for 76, I believe, 78. So, and then somebody lost that game.
Yeah.
So we will say it many times. Sometimes the smaller scores are the hardest scores to get, and teams will say, "Well, I've got mine."
Right.
But I saw it a little bit different. I saw it where very interesting. Not trying to lose, and what happens is in 2020, when your openers don't get a good start or they fall behind the run rate, teams start looking at the scoreboard and panicking.
Yes.
So now that I've got to go for big hits, but there was many opportunities, and I had a talk with a couple of players afterwards who played the game. Just certain places in the field where there were singles all day, and there was no attempt. Normally we could talk to the cricket fans right now. Normally we have a short extra cover or a short mid wicket to stop the singles that are here. There nobody played in those two positions all day.
Right.
OJ pitcher played in the late at the back end of the innings, probably like the 18th over.
Right.
But everybody was still, once they get behind, they want to go for the heels.
Right.
So it's quite interesting how it played out. But folks, it came down to whereas I believe it was 9 or so needed off 12 off the last over, and then a 4 was hit off the first ball, which then that set that up. With Derek Brangman and Kyle Hutzel to the wicket, Then it was a single made. Then some exciting stuff happened after that. So then there was a ball that went past Kyle. He didn't make contact, but Derek ran. Then the wicketkeeper tried to throw down the wicket. It was overthrown. Now, so they ended up running 2 runs for something that basically was a bot. Now, I don't know if you noticed it, but the umpire didn't even get caught up because initially he didn't even signal.
Right. Well, I did note that he signaled a short run.
Yep.
Because I don't think who was running down that side.
It would have been Kyle.
No, it would have been Derek.
Derek going back to the.
He didn't go into the crease.
Right.
Yeah. So actually, let's get the final plays of the game, and then the interview with Dawan Borden. In what can only be described as a nail-biting finish to the final, St. David's Cricket Club defeated Bailey's Bay by 1 run in the Bermuda Cricket Board's 2020 final at Seabreeze Oval yesterday. 2-time defending champions Bailey's Bay needed 3 runs to tie and 4 to win on the last ball. This is how things played out. Hey, Dawan, obviously excited. 1 run down to the wire. Did you think 106 was enough?
Well, how the wicket was playing, the wicket, 106 was, I don't think it was enough, but I had said to the boys before we came out, we'll build teams out for under 50 before. There's no reason why we can't build Bay out for under 50. We didn't achieve that, but they didn't get our score, so I'm all happy. That's all I can say.
Obviously, you won the toss, chose to bat. Things didn't go well, but obviously you guys dug deep. What would you think was the turning point of you guys actually coming out 1-run winners?
The turning point was basically when we started. We just started with a lot of energy, and that's what the 2020 is about. Hustle between us. You know, everybody watches cricket around Bermuda, and they see how 2020 is played. We're just trying to implement that in Bermuda cricket. So we got on top, we squeezed, and we knew that our special person Malachi Jones is away, and he hits the ball real hard. He wasn't here to do it for him. We squeezed, we got the job done.
But down to 3 overs, they needed 20-something runs. You had the ball in your hand. Then you had to give it to George. And then obviously you're turning to Kevin Hurdle the last over. What were some of the things you were telling them to build to make sure that, because they needed 7 or 8 runs in the over?
Well, one thing with Hurts, I don't really have to tell him much because he's a senior player, so he knows where he has to build. So I just let him do his thing, basically. Really set your field and build to it, bang.
All right, well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, so there you have it. You got to saw a thrilling end. But I do want to mention, because especially this early in the season, 2 youngsters that impressed me on either side.
Yes, indeed.
CJ Outerbridge came on a fresh change for St. David's, bowling 4 overs, no maidens, 1 for 6.
Yeah, in a 2020.
Yeah. And then once again, this is a youngster. But also, I found was a new player that I've never seen before on the Bailey's Bay side, Young Mills. I know his father. I think he's almost twice the size of his father already. But I realized he's 14 years old. 14, yeah. He ended up bowling Georgia Bryant. Yeah. Boy, ooh, that was ugly, George. But no, it's good to see that, number one, when you have 2 top teams, a lot of times the youth
get left out,
don't get a chance to play. And I just want to say kudos to both those teams' management to have faith and trust in some of these youngsters. And you can see what happens, even on a big day like Sunday, they were still able to come through.
Well, Jay, we can go from teenagers
to the old
Leafroy House.
Boys.
Leafroy House.
Oh, that changing room was humming. Before and after the game.
For those, well, actually, you know what? Top Dogs didn't even go to change room.
Oh, jeez.
They stayed outside. Guys they were tearing up in there.
Oh, man.
But Tough Dogs played Devonshire Recreation Club in the plate final. Obviously, getting to the final for Tough Dogs, they took care of flats. They took care of some of the bridge. and then it was a team that many would say would be fighting for promotion in the first division, and as well as Flex, they would be early season along with St. George's. There's first division teams that would pin down and saying, okay, they'll be fighting for promotion. But tough dogs with the experience. You had Dean Miners scoring 94 from 44.
Say it again. 94 from 44.
Not out.
Not out.
Several sixes, several fours. Actually, let's get the interview with the captain, Terrence Corday, on Dean's performance, and then we'll come back to talk about the match. Right, Terrence, obviously one of the things you guys wanted to do was manage the runs after you made 193, but Dean set you guys up for a good total. What about his inning?
It's a great innings. I mean, got a little lucky on the first one where he dropped in front of a fielder, but after that he certainly started middling it, and with him and McLaren Lowe supporting him really well, had 40. Dean had a brilliant 94 today. It's a shame he couldn't just get that extra for his century, but he's been a mainstay of our middle order. As everyone knows, he's class. He's one of the top batsman players Bermuda's ever produced, and we're just lucky to have him.
Yeah, obviously then you go to field out and you want to defend that total, and you have to start right away. You have to keep the runs down right away. First couple of overs you were able to do that, but of course Ronnie Brown came out, started knocking the ball around a bit, but it looked as if you guys managed to keep rotating the strike on the last ball of the over to make sure he got off the strike. So was that one of the plans, to make sure that he didn't get to face as many balls as he might have wanted to?
Yeah, he started, had a really good knock, and his first over he came in, he hit our opener, Trevor, for a couple big boundaries, and we saw he was middling it early, so it was the plan to try to minimize how much balls he faced and try to attack the other end. So we also decided he was pretty good with the ball coming on, so myself, Arnold, Mike, we decided to take the pace off the ball, try to give him a single early and then attack the other end, and today we were fortunate to field well, bowl well, and it worked out for us. But credit to him, he had a really good innings today.
You guys managed to beat 3 first division teams on your way to winning this plate final. Obviously you'd be satisfied with it, but having so many ex-cricketers, you yourself as well, but still playing and still able to, I guess, mathematically work out things, how you can get around, must be a good feeling.
Yeah, it is a real good feeling. I think all of us, if we're being honest, think we can still compete at this level, in particular in the first division. And I think we've shown that we can compete with most teams. We're obviously not as fast as we used to be, but it's a lot of experience on this team, and we may think our way to some runs and think our way to some outs. But I think we made a pretty good account of ourselves, and we're happy to be invited, and hopefully they keep inviting us.
Well, they're going to have to invite you back to defend that title. How important would that be to try and defend it next year?
Oh no, that'll be huge to defend it. But to be honest with you, I think we had a chance against some of the bigger teams. And I think it would be nice to get a big team scalp just to put it in our back pocket. But I think we're playing in the right level. It gave us some extra games, and frankly, I don't think we wanted to deal with some of the Bays or St. David's teams again. But we're up to play against anyone, And the next step for us is Central Counties. We're entered into Central Counties second round, which should be interesting because one of our players, Arnold Manders, is Western Stars coach. So we shall see if they get through the first round, if we get to see him in the second round.
All right, well, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free with D-Music, exclusively from Digicel. With D-Music, you can stream and download songs and create playlists of your favorite artists to fit your lifestyle. Whether you're working out at the gym, getting ready for a Friday night, or just chilling at home, D-Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D-Music today.
RJ, Terrence talked about Dean's innings, but just sitting there watching him, the first delivery he faced, full toss, he didn't middle it. It looked like he would be caught on the boundary, but it was his lucky day. His ball dropped short of the fielder, who didn't really attack the ball. I think many of his teammates were telling him, come and take the catch, but I think he was more reluctant to say, well, let me get it off the bounce so it doesn't go for 4. But after that, he spent a lot of time looking up and going and fetching, because Dean really showed his class. He took a little while to get off the mark. To get going, he took a few singles, carving the ball around, But then he took hold of the bowlers and was dispatching them to all corners of Seabreeze, Oval. And he had some good help because at one point in time, they was in a bit of trouble. McLaren, Lowe, and Dean put on, I think it was like 150-something run partnership to take them to 193. It was funny because a lot of people were coming for the second game as the inning was changing over, and one guy kept asking, is that the right score? So who bet it? Is that the right score? I just want to know, is that the right score? And even when Devin Chirac went to bed, he was like, hold on, so they're betting again? No, 193.
Yeah, I was getting messages, and I want to see the innings because, we're close friends. And,
Right.
And I know he made some runs already this season.
Yeah, it's the first game.
And now I said something in one of our shows right after that pertaining to cup match. So I'm hoping I'm not going to lose one of my colleague for that match. But I don't know if his buddy could take a whole season.
I don't know if it's the body he's worried about. It's the mind set of the people he'll be playing with.
But no, once again, I mean, the passion that he has for the game itself, and you can always see that anytime he touches that field, you see the big smile on his face. He enjoys the game, and you can see what it does with the rest of the guys.
Right.
But when you get on a nick like that, and you're seeing the ball well, even for the old age, I mean, I don't know if they got the new contacts that you got that's working really good for you, so big up to your doctor. But then look at somebody very seasonal with you.
I was just going to say, what are you going to say about Mr. Landis?
Yeah, well, coach and teacher. And I know he's had a lot of aches and pains over the years. But then when you look at I think Floyd was giving up 15 runs, 3 for 15, something like that.
And 2 of those were stumpings.
And I got a message, Dean is still quick.
Oh, yeah.
Taking a stumping down the leg side,
I got to talk to him because he took a stumping yesterday, and the young fella that was batting didn't realize he was was caught out of his crease. So Dean stands there looking at him with a grin on his face, and then tells him, the umpire wants your attention.
See, Dean, I know that's what we did back then, but you know what? You might not take it too kindly nowadays, okay?
But it was all in good fun. I mean, I think Devin Chirac youngsters were educated on how to manage an inning. If they stood there and watched, well, obviously they had to stand there and watch and do a lot of fetching. And then when Tough Dogs went to the field, their average age is 40, but they were able to put themselves in position. The bowlers bowled to the field set. Weren't a lot of diving around, and a lot of the balls went straight to him. Now, Ronnie Brown got going.
Yeah.
But other than that, Ronald Gibbons, he got 20. But that's it.
But in saying that, I mean, that's also a good comeback for Devin Chirac.
Oh, yeah.
Because when it's got to be demoralized when you do get to that change room and know that the other team posted 193 runs.
Yeah.
And you did a lot of fetching, like you said.
Yeah.
But to come back out and still have a reply, and if you look at it, they scored more runs than the final two teams
they did
on that day.
Yes.
So even though it was different competition, but to know that they were still over 4 runs and over, 5 runs and over actually,
Right.
almost 6 runs and over, and that is one of the things that people say, are you surprised at some of the scores? I tell you no, because when I see the average of runs per over in Bermuda's cricket, it hovers around 4. And we could talk cup match, we could talk any format of the game.
Right.
That's what it is.
Right.
3 to 4 runs and over. So whether it's a 50 overs, you just do the math. Cut it down to 20. What you gonna get? So if for them it was probably a good game, but also now your orders could be talked about it. That's could also add to Central Counties this year because Tough Dogs will be playing in Central
That's
Counties.
right. So now they're forced to be reckoned with in that particular game. They won't have the likes of
If they can survive, if something heals up between now and then, because Central County start real soon.
Well, the first match was postponed,
Right.
which was supposed to be on Saturday.
On Saturday.
It's a good thing that it was. Well, Tough Dogs weren't involved in that one, so they were able to play on Sunday. But yeah, they're going to have to play some tough matches coming up. And hopefully for their sake, like you said, all the stores in town, Hamilton Pharmacy, what's that other one down by Paget there? Paget Pharmacy.
Yeah.
Stock up on Bengay. It's going to be needed. Well, Jay, this past weekend we saw the start of the 35th America's Cup. Bermuda being seen in a different light in several ways. We know that we are on show for the sailing world. Many people who are watching are deep into the sport of sailing. Then you have some others who are proud of the country. I mean, I looked around up at Dockyard and I saw a lot of different flags, and I'm pretty sure those weren't all visitors. Those were people who reside in Bermuda but are from the particular country, and whenever that country is in action, and no matter what sport it is in Bermuda, you'll see those same people, you'll see those flags, you'll see that passion of what they want for their country.
Well, patriotism,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what it is. No matter what sport it is, it's patriotism. So we talked about in the last show, this is the World Cup of sailing. This is the Super Bowl of sailing. This is the World Series of sailing. And
The expensive side.
Oh yeah, and to have it here, number one, once again, Bermuda. Who would ever thought they would have that here? But then, when you see the pictures, when you see the location, you can see why it needs to be here.
Right.
The weather played its part.
Okay. So far.
It's been beautiful. They had some great wind.
Right.
You had some action.
Oh yeah, you have some
Although-
thrills and spills.
Thrills and spills. But all in all, Earl, just the overlook of the weekend, I think was well received. And even on the entertainment side of it, I did a function at Southampton Princess Saturday night. And one of the main lead singer for the Bermuda band, Jesse Seymour, he came to do another function, and I asked him, how was it? And his whole face lit up. It's like, Jay, I've never sang for that many people. As far as my eyes could see, left, center, right. And you could see that. I said, so I'll be there every weekend. I'm there, and that's the joy. And this is where when we say sports, sometimes it's not just the people who are playing on the field. There's many other things that come with setup or entertainment or whatever. So many different aspects when it comes to events like this. And I think they've done a tremendous job. And the pictures, for folks who did watch it on television, give you a whole new perspective on sailing, or I should say match racing. Because now with all the graphics and everything, you get to see what they're actually really trying to do. And then with this commentating, the professional commentating, I just thought they were just getting around in circles. Like, why is he so far over? But you get to understand, and then you're talking about these vessels. It's not just these vessels are one of a kind, and to see the footage. So, Earl, I don't know about you, but I thoroughly enjoyed the weekend, and I look forward to many more races and many more thrills and spills.
Well, let's get the leaderboard after 3 days of racing on the Great Sound.
Yeah, really excited about a little bit more breeze today.
I'm sure there'll be a good little fight. Should be a good show for you.
A battle between strugglers to kick us off. The British waved the French goodbye across the start line, but both boats were flying. Crunch time at Gate 3. The French were audacious. Au revoir les Brits. From write-offs to comeback kids, Groupama Team France won it by 53 seconds. Hold on to your hats for this one. Bad start for Artemis, over the line early, penalty. 9 lead changes, edge of the seat stuff. Kiwis and Swedes closing at a combined speed of 100 kilometres per hour. Final mark, Artemis blast past and head to the finish line. Winners surely. But penalty, said the umpires. Illegal passing manoeuvre. Quite right, said New Zealand. Artemis were furious.
Absolute joke.
It was a reality check for Groupama Team France. Veteran Dean Barker won the start for Japan and held that lead to the end.
Bermuda, listen up. D-Music is here exclusively for Digicel customers. Open up a world of music at your fingertips and access millions of songs from free. With D-Music, you can easily search for your favorite artists and create playlists to fit your lifestyle. Plus, you have the option to download music to your device so you can find a song for any moment, even when offline. D-Music comes with 1 gig of free data to stream and download songs without it impacting your data usage. That's 32 hours worth of music. Visit us in-store or online to see how you can get D-Music today.
Well, Jay, I got an opportunity to really sit down and talk with Jay Donowa, who last week, Wednesday, won the Bermuda Day Half Marathon Derby. He has been a busy fella, but I gave him a few days to reflect, and then had a sit-down talk with him about the day, about how life has changed, how many things for him has changed, and we got a view on his look on before the race, what his thoughts would be like if he ever won the race, and all that's come to reality now.
Well, he mentioned that, that was that box he just hadn't never checked off, and to hear him talk about it, finally, it's off his back, and sometimes you would shrug it off like, okay, I'm just past my time, but now it's finally happened. You know what? I don't care. I'm the winner. I'm the champ.
Well, let's get that interview with Jay Donowa, the male champion on Bermuda Day. Jay, you had time to reflect. 2 days now. What's those 2 days been like?
It's been overwhelming. I mean, to be honest, I've had very little sleep. Not because I've been out hanging out partying, but it's been hard to sleep, because it was so surreal, in terms of the Wednesday night, eventually once I got home after, receiving so much love and support from everybody in the island, it's been tremendous. It's still kind of, like even driving up here, I'm like, did this really happen type of thing like that, but it did, so, yeah.
I remember talking to you after you finished the race, and you were saying you envisioned yourself running across the fire station, guys honking horn, lights flashing and everything. But those moments, did that reality, has it really come to a fore now that you've done this?
Yeah, like now, like I've seen a lot of video, and then as I look at the video and then reflect on my mindset at that particular time, it was quite interesting. But like I told you before, like I had always envisioned like coming across fist pumping, but because of obviously my respect for the competition, for my competitors and everything, I'm not really been a person that wants to show anybody up. But at the same time, it was just like my focus was just get to Dutton Avenue. And even when I came off the hill, and I knew like, okay, well, barring some catastrophe, that I would win the race. Like I never fist pumped or did anything like that there. Like I just was so committed on just trying to get to the finish line, like that. But now as I look back at it, like I have it's been captured by in pictures and videos, so I have that forever to capture that, keep that moment. Yeah.
Did you ever think or feel as if this was going to be the feeling when you because everyone plays back, cup match players play back trying to score a century, what that moment be like, and you would have envisioned many times you winning the race. Was it like you envisioned in your mind playing over and over and over?
No, it's this is like 10 times what I ever envisioned, like the enormity of the event, and then how it played out and everything. It's like I said, I've won a lot of races, and you have that gratification. You come on Islandstats, and your name's up. You won the race and all that, and then it just dies out. But like to have this so much support and so much like well wishes from people since then, it's like I never envisioned it to be quite like this. I mean, it's been fun. I'm enjoying it. My personality is like one to shy away from, you know, like that there. But at the same time, you know, people that's close to me is just like, look, just embrace it. And you know, and I am, but you know, even when I went through town yesterday, it's just like it took me forever just to walk, like, you know, just.
Well, I was just gonna say it took you longer to get out of Bernard Park on Wednesday than it did for you to run the race.
Than to run the race, and even then it was just like, all right, listen, I'm gonna make a beeline, and then we're gonna be going, because you know I wanted to get to my mom and dad, who were down by the Hermitage Road at my cousin Mario's house. So you know, I kind of wanted to get around them for a little bit, because I knew I was gonna come back to the parade. I was coming back to the parade regardless of, you know, the result, but you know, but yeah, it was it's been. Earl, I can't even explain it. It's just like you said. I mean, talked to Gennaro Tucker, and you know, Gennaro and I have a good relationship from, you know, young, and like even he was telling me, like, when he scored the century last year and then is retired, and like, you know, that was one of the first things he told me, like when he saw me after the race. He said, like, look, you know, this is it for you. You know, he said, just go out on top. You know, just enjoy it. Like now I can probably put myself, you know, sort of parallel myself to how he must have felt when he scored, you know, that century last year in Somerset, you know, being his first one up Somerset. But then, you know, the month that he has scored, I mean, is obviously the record holder for that, most runs and most centuries and all of that. So I know it's, you know, different accomplishments, but in terms of the feeling and how everybody swarmed the pitch and, you know, came out there to him, and then have that similarity, you know, like that it's been great. Yeah.
You had a moment to share with Kevin after the race, and obviously he's won the race 9 times. What was that moment like for you, knowing that you guys had some good battles, but you've always been respectful in friends?
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, Kevin and I battled. We, you know, when I first came back from school in 96, you know, Kevin was obviously he was you know, he was the man, and you know, and obviously to reach the pinnacle, you know, I would have to beaten him, and even though I beat him in the race, I still came second to Terrence, you know, in 2004, which was an epic battle. But like you said, I mean, him and I have, you know, shared a very good, you know, relationship over the years. I mean, I looked up to Kevin. Because he's like 5 years older than me, so you know, I always looked up to him as an athlete, and then obviously I had to start competing against him, and then, you know, once you start getting close to somebody, you know, it changes the dynamics of the relationship a little bit, because, like, you know, but then we started training together, and you know, and all of that. But to have him out there, you know, I mean, he's the greatest you know, 24th of May runner, you know, like, not, you know, 9 titles. I mean, I'm won 1, you know, he's won 8 more, you know, whatever, like that. But to have him there and to share that moment, like when I saw him on Front Street, and you know, I wouldn't say what he said to me, but it now when I think about it, it almost brings a, you know, a tear to my eye. But he shared something with me as I came across, and then, you know, and then once he came to the park, and then with his wife or whatever like that, it was just great. You know, it was like I couldn't have scripted the aftermath, you know, the events after, you know, crossing the finish line, the way it panned out. Like the people that was there, was just like, it was just the way it was, you know, supposed to be. The only thing was I just wish my older son Justin was on, you know, on the island as well, but you know, obviously he's away in school. But you know, they get with modern technology now, they get to see the you know, everybody was following it, you know, so it was great.
A lot of emotion came out. What goes through your mind as you cross that line? Because you had said that you were so focused in everything you were doing, but we all saw that come out when you crossed that line.
Like honestly, like I would say this is probably the first 24th of May that in a long time that I've actually run and been focused from start to finish. Like, and even as I came up, it wasn't something that I planned. But you know, once I got into the race, and like there are different people that were out there, and even though I knew like they would be at certain parts of the course, like I never engaged anybody, even visually. Like whereas before, you know, I see people, I'm smiling, you know, do all of that. They're like, I was focused, like, and like, I mean, and I apologize, and I've apologized to a few people, because you know, they've come out and like, you know, expected the little, you know, the high five and all that. Even my youngest son was on Hermitage, and my sister, when they came off the hill, like I knew they were going to be there, But at that time, I told my sister, I said, Nika, at that time, I was just thinking about my next mental marker that I had set, which was to get to the top of up the hill here.
Right.
And like that. So for me, it was just focus, that stay within the moment. And like I said, I wasn't trying to get ahead of myself. I never thought about being on Dutton Avenue, until I actually got onto Dutton Avenue, because I was just trying to stay within the moment. But I knew that as I was getting closer, I used a lot of mental markers, within my mind to get me there. But Earl, once I crossed that finish line, it was like relief. Like I felt like I probably feel like I probably had about a few calls, on my back. You know what they say, getting the thing off your shoulder.
Yeah.
The monkey. It was more than a monkey. It was more. That's the heaviest monkey anybody could ever sort of carry around.
Right.
But it was instant, and then it was instant relief. And then I think it was a bit of that cry for many. It was a lot of joy. It was a lot of joy. And I think they even captured a moment where I didn't even remember doing it, but I went underneath this palm tree and I just laid there. And I think it all just it just all hit me that all the years, and because I'm endured a lot. I'm endured a lot within the race, and it's been that race has brought a lot of joy, but it's also brought a lot of disappointment.
Right.
Having finished second, that amount of times, like that, it was a lot of disappointment. But I could have easily given myself a way out, over the years, and even on Wednesday, coming to the race, it was just like all I said to myself, regardless of who chose the line, because honestly, when I came to the line 2-3 minutes before the actual start, because I never even I came up the steps from where that little I came up there. So honestly, Earl, I didn't even know who was actually running. In my mind, I said Lamont will be there, Chris will be, even though I knew that they had, that Chris had made an official statement. Right. I didn't allow myself to be lulled into a full sense, okay, this person. I got there and I looked around and I said, all right. And then I didn't want to be the pace setter, but I wanted to dictate the pace. Right. And I felt like I controlled the race from the start. Even though I was running in the pack with the guys, and they were, sort of, it was a little bit of shadowing going on. I always felt like I was in total control of the pace and how the race was going to go. And then I just gently increased.
Turn the wheels.
Yeah, I just gently increased, and it paid off. Experience won the experience won that race. Right. More so than anything. Yeah.
You've had what one would call a very emotional year. You've been inducted into the Pacers Hall of Fame. Yeah. You've now won Bermuda Day.
Yeah.
So what has this ride been like just this year?
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay, so, the Hall of Fame thing, it's okay, you're getting recognized for your accomplishments, having been on Pacers and, all of that. So that's great. And I was content. I was honestly content to say, you know what? Yeah, okay, that title eluded me, meaning 24th May, it eluded me, and that's something that I'm gonna probably have to live with that. But to be recognized, as a Hall of Famer for the Pacers, I was just like, all right, I can live with this. And then now this has come. It's just and I was joking with me and Raina and Carol Simons. I told them that on the plaque that they presented, it gave some of our a little snippet of our history and our local history, and on there it had 11-time cross country champion, and then it has 8-time runner up. And I told them I'm gonna give the plaque back, and I want them to take that 8-time and put down May 24th champ.
There you go.
And I don't care if it's just once. Just put that title on there like that there. But it's been great, and I think that everything happens, at the right time, and I've had so many great things happen for me throughout my life that's come easy, where it's just wow, job-wise, all of that, different things, opportunities, successes. But I think this is probably now when I look back at it, this is probably the best time that I could have won it, because maybe if I'd have won it 15 years ago, how would my career have gone? Would it have changed me as an individual? Different things like that there. Where now it's just okay, I've done it. I'm truly content. Even though I said before I was content, but I truly am content. And like the carrot now is not gonna dangle in front of me to say, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta, like, I honestly like feel like I don't have to do, I don't have to prove myself, anymore. Like, and I always felt, even subconsciously, like, even in conversations, I always felt like that was that one thing I had to, but that, but he didn't.
Right.
He didn't, now.
That but is now all over.
Yeah, it's all over. So like I feel it's the weight is truly off my shoulder. Yeah.
Well, your weekend would be complete if Arsenal win the FA Cup.
Yeah, and I mean, it would be great, but right now it's the personal satisfaction that I'm receiving. I mean, if Arsenal lose, I told my youngest son, I said I wouldn't even really care too much right now. I know that don't sound like a true fan, but I mean, I hope they do, but it's because of everything and how it's transpired. I mean, I'm gonna love the club no matter what. I love Arsenal, but the personal thing this week, I never envisioned waking up on Wednesday and saying, it's like life is just, it's changed. It's changed forever. Forever. In terms of that. And I think the thing that I appreciate the most is just the support that I received from the island as a whole.
Right.
I didn't know that I had such an impact, and so many people were wishing me well, like that there, and it's just,
I was telling a few people that before you would have got into town, I looked around Dutton Avenue and it was empty. And as word spread that you were getting closer, and I turned around again. I said, "Oh boy, this is we're gonna have a little problem here." Just that, people pulling you along, the inspiration in which, like you said, never gave up. You could have used excuses to get out, but you didn't.
Even on Wednesday, I felt like I put myself in the best position to win the race on Wednesday.
Right.
And that was by being proactive in the beginning and being positive.
Right.
And that's what I felt like I had done. Like I could have easy sat off of it and then ran what I would consider to be have a more of a negative approach, but I put myself in a positive thing. And like I said, I didn't want to be the outright pace setter, but I wanted to dictate the pace. So I didn't want to go out and be like out front in the lead and then having these guys chase behind me, but I wanted to be there and let them know that, hey, I'm controlling today and how this is going to be. I don't know how it's going to be when we get closer to time, but for now, I'm gonna, and that's how it worked out, like that.
Well, from me and Bermuda, and I guess all your people around the world, man, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Man. Well, Jay, that's it.
Yeah, we didn't cover many sports today.
No, but the ones we covered, boy, oh boy.
Thrilling.
Oh boy, thrilling on Monday.
Thrilling
on Sunday. Thrilling on Wednesday.
Yeah.
How's that?
Can't wait. See the next show.
Yeah. Well, folks, from me, Earl Baston, and
proud to be Bermudian Jay.
We'll be back with another show in the coming days, right here on Islandstats.com. Thank you to Digicel, our sponsors.